If you haven't learned music theory, don't. If you're currently learning music theory, stop. If you already know music theory, unlearn it this instant. Music theory is for idiots, pure and simple. I'll show you how you can unlearn music theory today so that you can unleash that musical beast that is deep within you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Stay here. Smack a likey. Smack a subscribey. You are in the family now. Wake up. The world is your oyster. But instead you want to stick your head into a book laden with dots on lines. For what? That isn't music. That is sheer wannabe know-it-all nerdery in the millionth degree. Don't be a music geek loser who procrastinates from doing the actual act of playing your instrument. Beato would tell you otherwise. But then again, he spends too much time listening to the Beatles and drumming along. But how do we unlearn theory if we already know it? We do it progressively. You don't want to go all buckethead on it immediately. Instead, we take little tiny steps. First, we start off by changing the mode we're playing. We will utilize a major chord as an example, and we will start off by playing a little Ionian over it. Play it. Sounds completely trite and boring as hell. Let's add an ever so slight bit of excitement to it, and we will get one of the closest scales to the major scale. There are actually two of the closest scales to the major scale, but that's just being a friggin' theory loser and nerdery, so don't mind me. So we do a little mixolydian. Let's try it. It's a little better. Now let's go to the other scale that is closest to the major scale, the lydian mode. It's kind of dreamy, definitely not adventurous enough. We need to step out of the bounds a bit more. So let's go ahead and start with the most majorist of the minor scales, the Dorian. Sounds like as if Carlos Santana waterboarded Alice Cooper with his tears. We're getting there. Still, we have a long way to go for unlearning theory, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's really jack it up big time. Let's go to our next minor scale, more minor than the Dorian, and that would be the aeolian. Over the major chord. Now we're talking. Try it out. Here we go. That's pretty good. Sounds like the scream that you would let out if you're falling off a building and caught your eyelid on a nail. But it does get better, because the next one is the angry Spanish scale, and it's called the phrygian. Oh yeah, now we're talking. That is the sound of making progress in unlearning theory. Sounds like just when you thought it couldn't get better. It definitely does, my fine friends, because the phrygian is not the minorest of the minor scales. No, the phrygian has an inbred cousin. Absolutely insane, and it is called the Locrian. Let's check that out. Ah, the beautiful wretchedness. It's like Colonel Sanders visiting a chicken farm. Now that we've screwed up the modes pretty nicely, it's time to move over to the heavier hitter scales. We will start with the absolute majorist of the symmetrical scales, the augmented scale. That sounds like kids biting into a cake at their friend's birthday party only to realize that it was actually stuffed with ketchup and not strawberry. That scale is deliciously major in the minorest way. Next up, we get the whole tone scale. Ah, I love this one. You could almost get away with this one on anything. Let's go for it. Like Saw. Cool flick to watch, but then you're sucked into the horror. Next up, we have the Diminished Arpeggio. Of course, over a major scale, it is absolutely demented. That's what I'm talking about. Kind of like Locrian, much more evil and a little less nutty. Next up, we dig deeper and we go into the Jimolean music system. This is not taught all over the place, so you are actually getting a rarity here. We're going to start off with mode 1 of the Jimolean music system, which is called Insect and Smoothie. Let's go ahead and take a look. Isn't that great? Like if you're making your favorite kind of smoothie, you know, a little ice cream, a little strawberry, you looked away and all of a sudden somehow some houseflies made their way in there, but you blended it all up and you had yourself a sip. Very nice. Next up, we're gonna have mode 4 of the Jimolean music system, which is Insect and Smoothie, add nacho cheese. Let's take a listen. What a great sound. Very much like the last one, except for a little nacho cheese was chucked in that smoothie too. Very nice. Finally, we get to the Jimolean music system part 2. This is the big boss at the end of the game, the final frontier. Mode 1 of the Jimolean music system 2 is called Crack Sniffer. And all that is you take any scale that you may happen to know, but you play it 1 fret higher. Let's take a listen. Notice the sweet bluesy sound there. That's because we took a good old minor pentatonic, which we all know, and moved it a fret higher. Loving it. And finally, we get to our final level of unlearning music theory. And when you know this, you are then a true master. This is mode 2 of the Jimolean music system 2, and it's called the ascend of a rhinoceros scale. What this is literally anything but harmonized in minor seconds. So generally, you'd like to maybe overdub it. In order to truly bring out and unleash the power of this, what we're gonna actually start off with is something that would be in that Ionian mode that I first showed you over the major scale. But then we're going to take it, bring it up to minor second, and you are going to hear the magic. Brace yourselves, folks. This is definitely the big time. We did it. We cracked the code. Take that, Beato. Smack it to likey. Smack it to subscribey because you are in the family now.